legal things or not. I do not use, frankly speaking, but my juniors, my assistant, everybody uses it. And when I get the drafting from them, when I say that please draft, the situation is this, and please draft any legal notice or whatever you drafted, and when they come before me with that drafting, it is very clear that it is generated from AI, and you can make it clear that it is generated from AI and it is generated from your mind. First thing, this is very clear that what your mind can do, AI can never do. That is very clear. Second thing, how AI gets the data. AI is nothing which generates data. It gets the data which we give the feed. Like we human being, whatever feeding we are giving, whatever feeding is there in the system, AI takes that feeding from the system only. Whatever, if you type in Google, you can get the result in a second. But to get that result, there are so many companies, there are so many developers, there are so many things which is behind. They are working to get the 100th result of your one search. So AI can be used in many things as a catalyst, as a assistant, but it cannot be used as a producer. Like when you say in healthcare section, we can use AI in very good manner. Like you can study the data of patients, you can study the data how we can diagnose the any disease. But when you use AI in writing, then you are nothing. Like Ritika said that
It is hampering the creativity skills
yes,
also,
yes.
yes.
No, no, you cannot use AI in your writing, because and not even writing novel, not even writing any story or anything. You cannot write even in a legal things also, because the situation is very different. In all scenarios, situation are very different. We are in legal fraternity. We see number of cases, number of situations, number of things, and the diversity of the legal things you see when seven judges bench set for a case, four judges said something different, three judges said something different, many a time one judge says a different thing. So how this can be accumulated in one thing? So this is very well, Ritika has also said very well. Like if we use AI as a catalyst, if we use AI as our assistance, it will be very good. But if you rely on that AI, then it will be a worse situation for us. That is our from my end. Thank you.
Can we have a round of applause for Rudra sir? Very well reiterated. And if anybody have any question or any rebuttal, you can just raise your hand simply because I want everybody to participate in the room. So I now I will be coming to Mr. Birat. So Birat, you are as an entrepreneur. You are a banker, a co-founder. I'm going to ask you this question. What skills do you think that the current workforce should focus on to stay relevant on AI-driven economy?
Good morning. Um, First of all, let me thank the organizers for bringing me here. This is a very nice opportunity to interact with everyone here, esteemed guests. The question when it comes to AI, whether I'm personally using it or because I belong from a media house, we run a newspaper, Bengali newspaper, English newspaper, and an online portal as well. And side by side, I'm a banker, so I manage branch banking. So AI has its utilities, has its scope, but when it comes to the usage or the threat from AI, I was pretty ready to say something negative about AI today. Like Ritika ji started, I was ready. आज तो मैं बैंड बजाऊंगा AI का, बजाना है मुझे. But then when she talked about the utilities, how AI can help us, sir said AI can help us in his field as well. I feel it definitely has potential, but every one of you have your phone with you. Just search, please go to Google and search just two keywords. That is knowledge cutoff of ChatGPT. Please go ahead and search. You will see that knowledge cutoff of ChatGPT was limited to September 2021 only. Since then, in the last 2 years, 2-3 years, ChatGPT has widened up its stance. Now the entire universe of knowledge available in the internet is available to AI. Everything that people have stored in, in the internet, the servers, every knowledge, every bit of knowledge is accessible to AI. And it's open platform. The machine is learning. Let me give a very small example. In 1400, the era 1400, when Gutenberg first printed the Bible through a machine, he copied, he made a letterhead and printed the Bible. From that moment, automation started, I would say, at least in printing and media domain. And what did it do? It took away the jobs of very skilled experts who used to copy and paste religious scriptures, who used to copy and write on paper. Those jobs are taken away. Gutenberg started it. And from then, you see, 600, 700 years down the line, here we are. Each and everything has AI associated with it. I hope I'm not taking too much time, but let me tell you, as a banker, when I want my customers to go to my bank's website and find some particular data, obviously they would want to do it at once. And today, if you go to Google's page, there is an AI summary right on top of it. If I search address for a particular branch, it's there. I don't even have to go to the website. If I want to search for a particular date, it's there. It's summarized in using AI. That is a good thing. But then it is giving up. People are giving up on it. We don't have content writers today. People are giving up on writing because everything is artificial. Everything is becoming artificial. You don't have to, because what AI will do is there are hundreds of websites already available. It will just pick from each and every website and give you a summarized report.
Just to have less chances of plagiarism?
Absolutely.
Yes.
The creativity goes away. You can generate pictures, anything. Deepfake. There is a thing called deepfake. Suppose today I'm sitting here, my face would be morphed, and something against me can be put onto the whole wide world, and people would think that it's me. So threats are there, definitely there. AI can be used. Suppose military databases, suppose banking secrets, suppose stock market data. When everything is accessible to people who are good at, with systems or computers, love programming, they can hack easily. That thing is real. We have seen science fiction movies when people used to talk to holograms, people used to wave their hand in the air and things used to happen. Those things are becoming real now. Earlier, few days ago, I was just scrolling through Facebook videos and I saw Oppo. Oppo has started this. You can grab a picture from the air. There's a Oppo phone and somebody's grabbing a picture. He's making this gesture. You can copy it and dump it on some other picture, and that picture transfers. How is this possible? How is this possible? Where are we going now? Then why do you need people? Everything can be done. Why do you need banks? Why do you need journalists? We can fly drones. We can have CCTV cameras everywhere. Those things will record audio, video, everything, and people can just sit somewhere and create news. Reporting can be automated. You don't need reporters on the ground. You can fly drones everywhere. CCTV cameras can pick up everything. Then how people would get their opinions? Why would journalists write? They will just narrate something. There is a war going on. You send people, they'll capture it, and you can sit back and relax at your home and see. But the impact, the way something is narrated, that makes a difference. I can depict the war that is right now happening in Ukraine or say Gaza. I can depict it in my own way. How you receive it is up to you, because people have cognitive abilities. People understand. People can develop their own opinions. The way I explain to you can be different. You need to filter out. But the way a machine would depict you, facts. I can filter out what I want to say. You can filter out what you want to listen. But machine, can it do that? But the day is coming. It might do it. Because today AI, I would not make it too technical, but today I was just going through some data in the internet. And guess what? AI was helping me to find out those relevant data. So today AI can be classified into three parts. One is artificial narrow intelligence, which is just for automation. Suppose you see those robotic arms in factories making cars. They just simplify manual work. That is only for that purpose. So people have written their codes and they are just performing those things, nothing more than that. Then comes the real threat. That is today we are living in the age of artificial general intelligence, AGI. That is a new thing. And this is where the machine is learning how humans think. This is where the machine is learning how humans react. And this is where the machine is actually developing its own opinions. This is where the threat comes from. And then it will move on to ASI, artificial super intelligence. Then the machine will be in control. We have seen a lot of science fiction movies where obviously the survival of the fittest, that comes in. When we human beings, we do the same thing. We need to survive. We do everything to survive. At the cost of what? Air, water, fire, everything. We can consume everything for the survival of our race. Will not the machine do the same thing? If they think the human beings, animals, trees, plants are a threat to them, then will they not retaliate? If it comes to that situation. This might sound like a science fiction movie, but we are going through this. It's happening. Things shown in movies, say 30 years ago, when James Cameron or Steven Spielberg first released the E.T. movie, aliens coming in, and we have those supercomputers, those things. Tom Cruise in Terminal Velocity, you have seen here waving hands. Those things are happening today. Nothing is impossible today. Nothing seems impossible today. Elon Musk is flying automated rockets to Mars. And very soon he will be colonizing Mars. Those things are matter of science fiction. It was. But now?
So as Mr. Datta reiterated and very beautifully mentioned that AI, with the world which is changing rapidly,
It is.
AI is actually a threat to many things. And of course, there are many things which we are getting replaced by AI. There are jobs getting replaced by AI. And so everything comes with a, disadvantages as well. So when we were very young, we used to see that TV is a boon or bane. So now the topic actually came like, is AI is a boon or bane? So even the health supplements also comes with an expiry. So this is what I believe, that every coin has two sides. AI has a better role also to play, but somehow it is also acting as a threat, as being mentioned by Mr. Bhaumik. So I'll have the last question to Jayashree ma'am. Jayashree ma'am, you are here, but I'm asking you this question as a Vastu consultant, because this is something which is really very important, that how AI has impacted your job responsibility, your profession, with your personal experience. And you have to talk here not as an author, as a Vastu consultant. I want to hear it from you.
Okay, thank you so much for that question. I'm Dr. Jayashree Om, a Vedic Vastu consultant. And first of all, I would like to pray to my Guru, Om Swamiji, my obeisance to him, Sri Hari Bhagwan, and the divine in you, all of you, with whose grace that we all are sitting here. So this is what AI cannot do. AI cannot give us the power to have faith in Bhagwan. It cannot replicate the love that we have for the humans and for Bhagwan. And definitely it cannot replace the happiness that we humans get from each other, because we are social beings. So I don't think AI can be a threat because because we are all part of nature, and it is an ever-evolving future, and that's how the world has seen us. That's how the earth has evolved. And initially there were just dinosaurs, and then the humans came in. So there has always been a threat to the humans, yes, but the nature has taught humans to to live, to have those survival instincts and to get their way out. So till the time we have the Brahma creation, that is the creation or the preserver as the Vishnu and the destroyer as Lord Shiva, I don't think anything can threat we humans. So that's how I see AI. And as a Vastu consultant, I have not had any threat from AI because Vastu is a Vedic subject and it comes from the faith. I mean, that's what Bhagwan says in Bhagavad Gita, that Shraddha labate jnanam, that it's only through the faith that whatever knowledge you gain comes to your fruitfulness or manifestation. So AI cannot do manifestation for we humans. So that's what I have to say about
Very
AI.
very beautifully curated.
Thank you so much.
And I must
Thank
say,
you.
this is I always wanted to hear from a Vedic consultant or maybe an astrologer that how AI can replace your job. Okay, so well now one last question I want everyone to just sum up in 30 seconds. What advice would you like to give to the young professionals who fear being replaced by AI in their careers? So we'll take it from Ritika and just 30 seconds to wind it up, ladies and gentlemen.
I can sum this answer up in less than 30 seconds. Live in the now. Fear comes from an unfounded base, the mind living in the future. We don't know what will happen. Embrace what is today. And today, it is here to help us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ritika. Very beautifully explained. Now I'll request Rudra sir to please reiterate, just please share some light on what do you think about the same.
I'll say in a lighter note, take AI as your girlfriend, not as your wife.
काफी अनुभवी व्यक्ति लग रहे हैं आज इस मामले में.
Yes, I agree to both of them. Yes, AI should be your friend.